Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Abhishek Mukhopadhyay and with me is R.S. Raghu with the evening news. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to virtually participate in the outreach sessions of the G7 summit for 2 days beginning tomorrow. Union Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad criticizes Delhi government's door-to-door ration delivery scheme, says it is in direct contravention with the National Food Security Act 2013. Country registers a sharp decline in active caseload and number of fresh COVID-19 cases. National recovery rate of COVID-19 stands at 94.93%. Over 91,000 new cases registered in the country during the last 24 hours. Railways deliver more than 29,000 tons of liquid medical oxygen to 15 states across the country. Road Transport and Highways Ministry notifies rules mandatory for accredited drivers training centres. Amid positive global cues, Sensex and Nifty record their all-time highs. And in French Open, top seed Novak Djokovic to take on defending champion Rafael Nadal in the men's singles semi-final match tonight. As many states are relaxing lockdown norms, we advise the listeners not to lower their guard as the COVID-19 pandemic remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow the 4 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene, and get vaccinated. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075. And now the news. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will participate in the outreach sessions of the G7 summit on the 12th and 13th of June in a virtual format. Briefing media yesterday, External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Arindam Bagchi said the UK currently holds the presidency of the G7 and has invited India along with South Korea and South Africa as guest countries for the G7 summit.
Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi will participate in the outreach sessions of the G7 summit on 12th and 13th June in virtual format. UK currently holds the presidency of the G7 and has invited India along with Australia, Republic of Korea and South Africa as guest countries for the G7 summit. The meeting will be held in hybrid mode.
This is the second time Prime Minister Modi will be participating in G7. Senior BJP leader and Union Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad today criticized the proposed doorstep delivery of ration scheme of the Delhi government. The minister said that the doorstep ration delivery scheme is in direct contravention with the National Food Security Act 2013. Raising serious questions over the intention of the ruling party in the National Capital Territory, Mr. Prasad asked as to why the One Nation, One Ration card scheme has not been implemented in Delhi.
The Union Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad has said that ration has to be given to the beneficiaries only from a fair price shop as per the National Food Security Act. He said, delivery of fruit grains to the doorstep to the beneficiaries will create avenues where ration can be siphoned off for black marketing. Mr. Prasad has informed that all the states and union territories have implemented the One Nation, One Ration Card scheme except 3 including Delhi.
देश के 34 राज्यों और यूटी ने वन नेशन वन राशन कार्ड को अडॉप्ट कर लिया। भारत के सिर्फ 3 प्रदेशों ने अभी तक वन नेशन वन राशन कार्ड को इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं किया है। एक आसाम, क्योंकि वहां आधार लेट से शुरू हुआ था, जो उनकी स्थानीय समस्याएं थी नागरिकता को लेकर के इत्यादि, और बाकी 2 प्रदेश, एक का नाम है बंगाल और दूसरे का नाम है दिल्ली। मेरा सवाल यह है श्रीमान अरविंद केजरीवाल से कि आपने वन नेशन वन राशन कार्ड दिल्ली में क्यों नहीं लागू किया है?
The union government has said that fair price shop are at fixed locations which can be monitored and inspected at any time by the authorities. However, in case of home delivery of ration, it is very difficult to monitor the delivery executive on the field and no check can be kept on them. The union government has also found no merit in claim that it is difficult for beneficiaries to visit fair price shop in each and every part of Delhi. It said there are about 2,000 fair price shops in Delhi which efficiently cover each and every location of the national capital. Bhupender Singh, AIR News, Delhi.
The union government has said that India is registering a sharp decline in active caseload and number of fresh cases. With this, The recovery rate is continuously improving in the country and it now stands at 94.93% in the country. Briefing the media in New Delhi today, Joint Secretary of Health and Family Welfare Ministry Love Agarwal has said that the country had registered maximum number of over 4 lakh cases on the 7th of May, and since then daily cases are continuously declining in the country. He said almost 78% decline in cases has been registered as compared to highest peak. He said India registered over 91,000 new cases during the last 24 hours. He added that a decline of 31% in average daily new cases had been registered in the last week. He said there are 335 districts wherein drastic reduction in fresh cases have been witnessed.
देश में कंटिन्यू और शार्प डिक्लाइन इन डेली न्यू केसेस हम पिछले 5 हफ्तों से ऑब्जर्व कर रहे हैं, जहां 7 मई को देश में 4,14,000 प्रतिदिन औसत के हिसाब से केसेस नोट किए गए थे, वह घटते घटते 2 लाख से कम 25 मई के समय पर, उसके बाद 7 जून को 1 लाख से कम होते हुए आज 11 जून में 91,702 केसेस रिपोर्ट हुए हैं। यानी कि अगर हम पीक से कंपैरिजन में ऑब्जर्व करें तो हम पाते हैं कि करीब 78% जो रिपोर्टेड पीक देश में ऑब्जर्व की गई है उससे केसेस में कमी आई है।
Mr. Agarwal said the continuous decline in active cases has been reported in the country and at present there are over 11 lakh active cases in the country. He said almost 70% reduction in active cases has been recorded in the country in the last 1 month. Mr. Agarwal also said the recovery rate is continuously improving in the country. He said the recovery rate was over 81% on the 3rd of May and now it has reached nearly 95%. He said daily recoveries are outnumbering daily new cases from the last 29 days. He added that 29 states and union territories have witnessed more recoveries in comparison to fresh cases in the last few days.
3 मई को जहां पर देश की रिकवरी 81.8% थी, वह अब बढ़ते बढ़ते 94.9% हो गई है। इसी में हम देखते हैं कि ओवरऑल पिछले 29 दिनों से देश में जो टोटल केसेस रिकवर हो रहे हैं उनकी संख्या जितने केसेस एक्टिव केसेस या डेली केसेस रिपोर्ट हो रहे हैं उनसे अधिक है। पिछले 24 घंटों में भी हम देखें तो पाते हैं कि जहां 1,34,580 रिकवरीज हुई हैं, वह रिकवरी भी जितने केसेस देश में रिपोर्ट हुए हैं उससे 1.45 टाइम्स ज्यादा है। 29 स्टेट्स ऐसी हैं देश में जहां पर की रिकवरी इज मोर देन द डेली रिपोर्टेड केसेस फॉर द लास्ट फ्यू डेज।
Member Health Niti Aayog Dr. V.K. Paul said that all the arrangements have been made for conducting the National Sero Survey. He said Indian Council of Medical Research ICMR will start conducting the next round of National Sero Survey from this month. He said this will help in identifying the intensity and impact of the coronavirus in the country. Briefing media in New Delhi today, Dr. Paul said states are also required to conduct their own sero surveys for better understanding of the impact of coronavirus. He said apart from sero survey, emphasis must be given on surveillance, mutation of virus and genome sequencing of the virus.
हमें एक नेशनल सीरो सर्वे पे ही डिपेंड होकर नहीं करना होगा, हमें राज्यों को भी सीरो सर्वेस करने के लिए उत्साहित करना होगा। ये वक्त है उस काम को करने का और सर्वेलेंस जो है वो हर ज्योग्राफी में हो, क्योंकि फैसले जो हैं वो स्टेट एंड सब स्टेट एंड डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल पे होने चाहिए। इन चीजों के उसी पे ही कंट्रोल करें।
On the COVID vaccination front, Dr. Paul said the country will cross the landmark figure of administration of 25 crore vaccine doses within few days. He said availability of vaccine doses have increased and it will further improve in the future with better coordination between centre and the state governments. He urged the people to come forward for the administration of second dose. He also urged to avoid the wastage of vaccine doses.
वैक्सीन की तरफ आप देख रहे हैं कि एक्सेलरेशन हो रहा है। 25 करोड़ का आंकड़ा 1-2 दिन में पूरे होने की पूरी उम्मीद है। सेंटर और स्टेट का जो तालमेल है वो और भी बढ़ेगा, प्रोक्योरमेंट और आसान होगी। जिनको 1 डोज मिली है वो प्लीज दूसरी डोज लीजिए। हर डोज को हमने इस्तेमाल करना है, डोज की वेस्टेज का कोई मतलब नहीं है। जहां भी एक वैक्सीन की सेंटर्स बनेंगे वहां जितना वैक्सीन जाता है वो यूज होना चाहिए। वैक्सीन हेजिटेंसी को पीछे हटाना है।
Minister of State in the Prime Minister's office, Dr. Jitendra Singh, has called for holding public awareness campaigns about the correlation between diabetes and COVID. Delivering the inaugural address at the World Congress 2021 of Diabetes India, Dr. Singh said those suffering from diabetes have an immunocompromised status which tends to reduce their resistance and make them more vulnerable to corona-like infections. The minister said over the last 2 decades, India has seen a surge in type 2 diabetes mellitus, which has now acquired pan-Indian proportions. Type 2 diabetes, which was still 2 decades ago prevalent mostly in South India, is today equally rampant in North India. He said it has also moved from metros, cities and urban areas to rural hinterland. Dr. Singh also flagged off the need for a series of COVID diabetes academic meets to create awareness. Railways has delivered more than 29,000 tons of liquid medical oxygen to 15 states across the country. Oxygen expresses had started the deliveries 48 days back on the 24th of April in Maharashtra. Railway Ministry said Railways is continuing its journey of bringing relief by delivering liquid medical oxygen to various states, and so far 409 oxygen expresses have completed the journey. Oxygen expresses have delivered more than 14,800 tons of liquid medical oxygen to the southern states of the country.
In Tamil Nadu, the state government has extended the lockdown period from 14th to 21st of this month. In a statement, Chief Minister M.K. Stalin said that lockdown period with specific regulations will be allowed in 11 COVID prevalent districts and more relaxations have been permitted in other districts. More from our correspondent.
The state government has allowed functioning of beauty parlors, saloons and spas without air conditioning facilities with 50% staff and customers. Government-managed parks and playgrounds will be open from 6 to 9 p.m. only for walking exercise. Ophthalmologists and mechanic shops will be open from morning 9 to 2 p.m. Agricultural shops, handicrafts manufacturers are allowed to function from morning 6 to 5 p.m. Tasmark will be opened from morning 10 to evening 5 o'clock. Mobile phones and accessories, building materials, household furniture and utensils shops will be open from 9 to afternoon 2 o'clock. Administrative activities on admission to schools, colleges and universities have been allowed. Joy, AIR News, Chennai.
In Assam, COVID-19 positivity rate has gone down to 2.16% today. Official sources said that nearly 1,70,000 tests have been conducted in the state today. A total of 3,666 patients were found positive. Kamrup Metro District has reported a maximum of 341 cases. On the other hand, 88.83% recovery rate has been reported. 29 persons succumbed to COVID today in Assam. In West Bengal, an all-women organization has come forward to perform the last rites of the abandoned COVID corpses. In the time of the pandemic, members of Muktadhara have shown great social responsibility and grit and became the last hope for many hapless families. A report.
In 2018, Kaberi Sarkar of Shiliguri had started the social service with just 3 ladies with her. Within 3 years, her association grew bigger and now she has formed a foundation called Muktadhara. Clad in white kurta and a red gamcha or towel around their necks, members of the all-women organization have been carrying out the responsibility of performing the last rites of the persons died due to COVID-19 and deserted by their families. The fearless women are rendering the yeoman's service at a time when even relatives have been shying away from cremating bodies in fear of contracting the coronavirus. With Chandana Chaudhuri, this is Madhuparna Chaudhuri for AIR News, Kolkata.
Many heroes emerged in the second wave of the coronavirus infections, helping patients and their families deal with the crisis. One such example is Purnavad Yuva Forum from Maharashtra's Dhule district. Let's listen in to the story.
While hotels, restaurants and hawkers were forced to remain off streets during the lockdown imposed to contain the second wave of coronavirus pandemic, it was Purnavad Yuva Forum that helped COVID-affected families with food packets and other essentials. It has been more than a month and a total of 200 food packets are being delivered daily to families whose skin is admitted to Shri Bhausai Bhire Government Medical College in Dhule due to COVID or other ailments. Speaking to AIR, member of Purnavad Yuva Forum, Mr. Vikas Pathak said,
Purnavad Yuva Forum Dhule की ओर से अनेक समाज उपयोगी कार्यक्रम चलाए जाते हैं। इनमें कोविड-19 अंतर्गत संसर्गजन्य महामारी की वजह से हीरे वैद्यकीय महाविद्यालय धुलिया में रुग्ण एडमिट है, उनको और उनके रिश्तेदार लोगों को फूड पैकेट 1 महीने से Purnavad Forum Dhule की ओर से दिए जा रहे हैं।
The food is freshly prepared at Manikarnika Bhavan provided by Sri Shukla Yajurved Brahman Mandal, thus helping families in their time of need. With Dhule PTC Nitin Jadhav, this is Nisha Rani for AIR News, Mumbai.
Consequent upon capping of trade margin for oxygen concentrators, a downward revision in price of up to 54% has been reported in 70 products and brands. National Pharmaceutical Pricing Authority has capped trade margin for oxygen concentrators at 70% on price to distributor level. The ministry said trade margin rationalization for oxygen concentrators has resulted in ensuring consumer savings by eliminating unreasonable profit margins on imported products. The revised MRP, effective from the 9th of this month on all the brands and specifications, have been shared with the state drug controllers for strict monitoring and enforcement.
You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to virtually participate in the outreach sessions of G7 summit for 2 days beginning tomorrow. Union Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad criticizes Delhi government's door-to-door ration delivery scheme, says it is in direct contravention with the National Food Security Act 2013. Country registers a sharp decline in active caseload and number of fresh COVID-19 cases. National recovery rate of COVID-19 stands at 94.93%. Over 91,000 new cases registered in the country during the last 24 hours. Railways deliver more than 29,000 tons of liquid medical oxygen to 15 states across the country. Road Transport and Highways Ministry notifies rules mandatory for accredited drivers training centers. Amid positive global cues, Sensex and Nifty record their all-time highs. And in French Open, top seed Novak Djokovic to take on defending champion Rafael Nadal in men's singles semi-final match tonight. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
Welcome back to the evening news. The Centre has been disseminating awareness of 6 national level helpline numbers created for the benefit of the citizens during the COVID-19 pandemic. National helpline of Ministry of Health and Family Welfare for COVID-related queries is 1075. The child helpline number of Ministry of Women and Child Development is 1098. For senior citizens of Delhi, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand, the helpline number of the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment is 14567. The helpline number of National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences NIMHANS for psychological support is 080-4611-0007. Ayush COVID-19 counseling helpline number is 14443 and MyGov WhatsApp help desk number is 9013-151515.
Road Transport and Highways Ministry has notified rules mandatory for accredited drivers training centers. These rules will come into effect from the 1st of next month. The ministry said this will help in imparting proper training and knowledge to candidates who enroll at such centers. The accredited driver training centers shall be equipped with simulators and dedicated driving test track to provide high-quality training to candidates. The candidates who successfully pass the test at these centers will be exempted from the driving test requirement at the time of applying for driving license, which is currently being taken at the Regional Transport Office. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman will chair the 44th GST Council meeting through video conferencing at 11 a.m. in New Delhi tomorrow. The meeting will be attended by Minister of State for Finance Anurag Thakur, Finance Ministers of States and Union Territories, and senior officers from the Union Government and States.
Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan has said India is with all the nations in the fight against the deadly HIV disease. Addressing the 75th session of the United Nations General Assembly on prevention of HIV/AIDS, Dr. Vardhan said India is providing free antiretroviral treatment to close to 1.4 million people. He, however, stressed that there is a need to achieve zero new transmission of HIV if the promise of ending AIDS in the next 10 years is to be delivered. India has administered more than 24 crore 93 lakh doses of COVID-19 vaccine in the country so far. Union Health Ministry said more than 31 lakh 50,000 vaccine doses were administered till 7 p.m. today, out of which more than 28 lakh 48,000 beneficiaries were vaccinated for first dose and more than 3 lakh beneficiaries received second dose of the vaccine. The country had launched the world's largest vaccination drive on the 16th of January this year. Indian Renewable Energy Development Agency Limited (IREDA) has invited bids for setting up solar manufacturing units under the central government production-linked incentive scheme. The Union Cabinet had earlier approved 4,500 crore rupees scheme to boost domestic manufacture of solar photovoltaic modules. The Ministry of New and Renewable Energy has appointed IREDA as the implementing agency for the scheme. The last date for submitting application is the 30th of this month.
President Ramnath Kovind has expressed grief over the demise of Dr. Ashok Pangaria. In a tweet today, he said, India has lost an eminent neurologist who made rich contributions through his clinical and academic work. Prime Minister Nadu Modi has also paid condolences at the demise of noted neurologist Dr. Ashok Pangaria. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said that Dr. Ashok Pangaria made a mark as an outstanding neurologist.
Khadi and Village Industries Commission (KVIC) has issued legal notices to over 1,000 private firms so far for misusing its brand name and selling products under the name of Khadi. Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises today said that Delhi High Court has directed a Ghaziabad-based trader who indulged in fraudulent manufacturing and selling of counterfeit Khadi Prakritik paint to stop all such activities immediately. KVIC Chairman Vinay Kumar Saxena said that KVIC has not outsourced the manufacturing or marketing of Khadi Prakritik paint to any agency. BJP National Vice President Mukul Roy today returned to Trinamool Congress in presence of Party Supremo Mamata Banerjee. He had joined the Bharatiya Janata Party in 2017 and was elevated to the post in run-up to the Legislative Assembly elections in the state. Many TMC leaders, including former state ministers, had joined BJP following his suit. In a press conference held at TMC office in Kolkata, Ms. Mamata Banerjee and Party General Secretary Abhishek Banerjee welcomed him along with his son Shubhranshu Roy. Mukul Roy, former rail minister, won the Krishnanagar Uttar seat in the recently held state assembly elections.
The Sensex and the Nifty today logged modest gains to close all-time highs amid positive global cues. The Sensex closed near the 52,500 mark, while the Nifty settled around 15,800 level. The rupee depreciated 2 paise against the US currency, and Brent crude extended gains to a fresh multi-year high. A report.
Sensex at the Bombay Stock Exchange climbed 174 points to finish at 52,475. Nifty at the National Stock Exchange also surged 62 points to close at 15,799. In the foreign exchange market, the rupee weakened marginally by 2 paise to finish at 73 rupees and 8 paise against the US dollar. Gold was trading at 49,200 rupees for 10 grams. However, silver prices gained 580 rupees to trade at 72,580 rupees per kilogram for July contracts. In intraday trade, Brent crude prices were trading around $72.80 a barrel. Arjun Chaudhary for AIR News.
With 42 days to go for the Tokyo Olympic Games, All India Radio today will talk about India's prominent women archer, Deepika Kumari. Our report.
Born in Ranchi, Jharkhand on June 13, 1994, Deepika has been the face of Indian archery for over a decade now. As a 16-year-old, she won 2 gold medals at the 2010 Commonwealth Games in Delhi and a bronze medal at the 2010 Asian Games in Guangzhou. Tokyo will be her third Olympics after being part of Indian team in the editions in London in 2012 and Rio de Janeiro in 2016. India has never won an Olympic medal in archery. The 26-year-old has been consistent in the international circuit, winning multiple medals at the Archery World Cups over the years and 2 silver medals at the World.
Union government has decided to depute maximum additional support staff for Tokyo Olympics 2020, such as coaches, doctors, physiotherapists to optimize the performance of the athletes. Sports Ministry said visit of any person other than athletes, coaches and support staff will be taken up only if there is any protocol requirement. It said participation of the Indian teams and sportspersons for Tokyo Olympics is being reviewed round the clock. In the light of the arrangement, it has been decided not to have any ministry delegation for the Tokyo Olympics. The ministry said an Olympic mission cell is being set up in the Embassy of India in Tokyo as a single window node to provide logistic support to the Indian contingent bound for Tokyo so that all possible assistance is rendered seamlessly. In cricket, Shikhar Dhawan will lead India on a 6-match white ball tour of Sri Lanka in July. The Indian Cricket Board said pacer Bhuvaneshwar Kumar will be vice-captain of the 20-member squad announced yesterday. The All India Senior Selection Committee picked the squad for 3 ODIs and 3 T20 series to be played between July 13 and 25. All matches will be played at the R. Premadasa International Cricket Stadium, Colombo. In the French Open tennis tournament, the 2018 champions and second-seeded pair of Barbara Krejcikova and Katerina Siniakova won the first women's doubles semi-final today. They defeated the duo of Magda Linette and Bernarda Pera 6-1, 6-2. In the second semi-final, the 14th-seeded team of Iga Swiatek and Bethany Matek-Sanz won 6-3, 6-4 against the duo of Irina Begu and Nadia Podoroska. In the men's section, Stefanos Tsitsipas of Greece was leading 2-1 after 3 sets, 6-3, 6-3, 4-6 against Alexander Zverev of Germany in the men's singles semi-finals when the news last came in. In the second semi-final, top seed Novak Djokovic of Serbia will fight it out with defending champion Rafael Nadal of Spain in a repeat of the 2020 final. The players have faced each other 57 times, with Djokovic leading 29-28 after Nadal won the past 2 meetings.
According to the National Weather Forecasting Centre of the India Meteorological Department IMD, southwest monsoon has further advanced into some parts of North Arabian Sea and some more parts of South Gujarat, South Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh today. It said that southwest monsoon has also advanced into most parts of North Bay of Bengal and more parts of West Bengal today. It has said that conditions are favourable for further advance of the monsoon into some more parts of Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, remaining parts of Chhattisgarh and Odisha, entire West Bengal, Jharkhand and Bihar, and some parts of East Uttar Pradesh and remaining parts of North Bay of Bengal during the next 48 hours. It said the southwest monsoon is likely to advance over the remaining parts of the country outside South Rajasthan and Kutch region of Gujarat during subsequent 3 to 4 days. Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. Jammu will have partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. Srinagar will also have partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. Minimum temperature will be around 19 degrees Celsius and maximum 33 degrees Celsius. Leh will have partly cloudy sky. Gilgit will also have partly cloudy sky with minimum temperature of 16 degrees Celsius and maximum expected to rise up to 39 degrees. In Muzaffarabad, there will be partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. Temperature will shift from minimum of 23 degrees to a maximum of 40 degrees. National capital Delhi will have thunderstorm with rain. Minimum temperature will be touching 24 degrees Celsius. Maximum will go up to 37 degrees. In Mumbai, there will be generally cloudy sky with heavy rain. Chennai will have thunderstorm with rain and Kolkata will have generally cloudy sky with few spells of rain or thunder showers. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to virtually participate in the outreach sessions of the G7 summit for 2 days beginning tomorrow. Union Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad criticizes Delhi government's door-to-door ration delivery scheme, says it is in direct contravention with the National Food Security Act 2013. Country registers a sharp decline in active caseload and number of fresh COVID-19 cases. National recovery rate of COVID-19 stands at 94.93%. Over 91,000 new cases registered in the country during the last 24 hours. Railways deliver more than 29,000 tons of liquid medical oxygen to 15 states across the country. Road Transport and Highways Ministry notifies rules mandatory for accredited drivers training centres. Amid positive global cues, Sensex and Nifty record their all-time highs. And in French Open, top seed Novak Djokovic to take on defending champion Rafael Nadal in the men's singles semi-final match tonight. And for details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.com and News on AIR app. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.